Now, there's something I'm going to tell you, and this might come as a shock to a lot of people. And this is where I say that I want to offer like full transparency in terms of what it is that I'm doing, what it is that I've done over the last sort of like 18 months or so, maybe even longer at this point. But I can hand on heart say that everything that I'm doing is with a reason. Obviously, I'm a competitive bodybuilder, and over the years, I've wanted to improve my physique, improve my look on stage, and get better year on year. And it is honestly, it has been the biggest decision that I've ever had to make, and it's not a decision that I've made lightly because of the potential health impacts. So good morning. I have to keep the noise down a little bit because it is literally just gone, well, just on 5 o'clock. Emma's still in bed, and I'm just about to go out and get some steps in, keeping the same routine that I always do, even though doing my steps slightly earlier because I've got a high day today. So it means I'm going to go out, get my steps done first, no cardio this morning, and then I'm going to come back, I'm going to do my check-in, have a shower, and get my first meal in. But today the intention is to shoot a day in the life, so you get to see what it is that I do. I won't take you through today's gym session because it's already been released, you've already seen it. Saw it a couple of weeks back when I did legs at next level. So I've literally just got my morning supplements in, which is 80 micrograms of Clen, 20 micrograms of yohimbine, and 100 micrograms of T4. That always goes in fasted before I do cardio or go for steps. So without further ado, making too much noise, I'm going to shoot out and get my steps done, and then come back, get my check-in done, and then yeah, have my first meal. So that's my morning steps completed. Did about 3, maybe 4,000. Nice sort of like half an hour walk. You can hear the dog mothering me in the background. I literally just went for a walk around the block. Nothing too major. Come back just now. Went to the toilet. Did my pictures, and they're all done and sent over to you, and which is early because it's now 5 to 6. Check-ins all done, really happy with the pictures, as yesterday was a high day. Got another high day today, which means no cardio first thing this morning, which is great. So I'll be getting this meal in a sec, which I'm just about to make. I do need to clean the kitchen before I show you because I'm not a skank. I'm not going to advertise my messy kitchen on here. Then I'll be getting that in. I'll show you what that is in a sec. And then we'll be taking the dog over the field, as it's been the same with like a lot of these videos I've been putting out, as we normally take her out sort of like first thing of a weekend. Just kind of burn her out a little bit because we're generally out longer during the day. Then we come home, pre-workout meal, pre-workout supplements, and then head off to the gym because today is leg day. So this is meal 1, just about to go down. Something I always do in the morning is have a hydration drink. It's about 800 ml-ish of water to about a scoop, heap scoop of Perform hydration formula. Then we've got 3 eggs. I normally put aromat in there, which I'll show you. It's this stuff, garlic aromat, just gives it a little bit of flavour. So yeah, 3 eggs, 2 grams of salt, some aromat, then I've also got some ketchup on there as well, just for some added flavour. Then in the bowl I've got 85 grams of cream of rice, 100 grams of blueberries, and then I've got a square of dark chocolate which I melted. I made this last night. Normally take this out the night, the morning that I get up, so then at least it can sort of warm to room temperature. Then I've got my health supplements for the day. You've got sort of things like organ defense, glutathione, then there's circulatory complete in there as well. We've also got a multivitamin, omega-3, digestive enzyme, P5P, and then there's also 25 milligrams of Proviron in there as well. This is something I take as standard every morning, trying to focus on health. So yeah, the more I look at this food, the more I want to eat it. So yeah, I'm going to sit and get this meal in. You can just about see her little fluffy head behind me. She's literally been going mad this whole time. We've literally just pulled into the dog field and she's been bouncing around like a little child. It's actually dead cute. So we've just arrived at the field. Gonna wear her out for a little bit, so I'll take you along. It's looking quite nice out this morning, so let's get a run out, get her tired, and then head back home. So I'm not sure how well you can hear me because it's really quite windy, but the whole emphasis around today is just to kind of take you into like my life, I guess you could say. So it is going to be quite open. There's going to be a lot of things in here that you wouldn't expect, and I just wanted to kind of give full transparency, full honesty in terms of what it is I'm doing and what it takes for me personally to be a competitor, taking you into the reasons why, what it is that I'm doing, and you know, everything else in between really. Like, you see these videos done quite often and a lot of information is held back, but it's a chance for me to essentially be open. So it's gonna be a good one, to be fair. I really do enjoy these videos because of the input and the feedback that you guys have given me over the last probably 6 or 8 weeks, maybe even longer, since I've started posting these. So again, it's to give you an idea in terms of what it is that I'm doing and, you know, what it actually takes to be a competitor. Because, you know, at the end of the day, I am just an amateur. I'm not a professional by any means. Hopefully soon, but we'll see. Only time will tell. But yeah, we're going to give the dog a run out, so I probably won't record most of this for the most part. And then it'll be back home, get showered, get shaved, have my pre-workout meal, and off the back of my check-in, my food's been increased slightly for today. So meal 1 went in as normal, absolutely the same. The amounts of rice that I'm on today have been increased. Also got a muffin pre-workout, which I may well grab from either Starbucks or Costa on my way home. So that will go in. I'll take you through what I do when I get home in terms of like further supplementation, in terms of pre-workout supplementation, and everything else in between. That's the pooch. Walked, well, run out in the field. And as you can see, she's suitably knackered. Look at her. Time to get home, crack on with the rest of the day. Good girl. So on the way back, made a quick pit stop and got myself my chocolate muffin for my pre-workout. It's from Costa, not Starbucks. Doesn't really make any difference. Muffin's muffin. Emma's coffee, triple espresso for me. And yeah, just gonna make my pre-workout meal, have a shower, get ready, and then aim to leave here by about around 9ish, I reckon. So yeah, I can't wait to smash this muffin. Buzzing for it. All showered, dog's walked, sorted. She's absolutely knackered. She's desperate for a nap. So I'm gonna get my pre-workout meal in. It is currently 9 o'clock, so it's a decent time really. I've been up since about 10 to 5, as you saw, getting out and getting steps in, which, you know, is a way that I always start my day. I was gonna shave whilst I'm in the shower, but I didn't really sort of want to waste too much time, so I'll get that done today. And if anything, I've got a little bit more growth on the top of my head, but it is what it is. Now, there's something that I'm gonna tell you, and this might come as a shock to a lot of people. And this is where I say that I want to offer like full transparency in terms of what it is that I'm doing, what it is that I've done over the last sort of like 18 months or so, maybe even longer at this point, which is the fact that I'm no longer a natural athlete. Now, I know you're probably thinking that, what the fuck are you doing? You're gonna ruin your health, you're gonna kill yourself, you're gonna cause problems, this, that, and the other. But I can hand on heart say that everything that I'm doing is with a reason. Obviously, I'm a competitive bodybuilder, and over the years, I've wanted to improve my physique, improve my look on stage, and get better year on year. And it is honestly, it has been the biggest decision that I've ever had to make. And it's not a decision that I've made lightly because of the potential health impacts, the complications that it can cause, and other things that it can exacerbate. And as I say, I wanted to be fully transparent because I don't want to go along with this whole series with the belief that I'm a natural athlete because my natural genetics aren't brilliant. And, you know, bringing assistance into play, as I say, was a massive decision that I thought long and hard about, probably over sort of like a 6 or 8 month period. Now, the decision came about when I was competing back in 2023 and I was against some really good competitors. And I thought, you know, in order to kind of either keep up or to kind of surpass the levels that I thought that, well, that I know that I want to meet and I want to make, that there's only one route to go with this. I'm following all the necessary measures and steps that are in place in order to get the best out of my health, to get the best out of what it is that I'm using, and everything is all under control. So I have my bloods done regularly, I'm tracking my blood pressure, I'm tracking my heart rate, doing my cardio, doing my steps, making sure that I'm hydrated. I take health supplements, which obviously I showed earlier on in the video, which is to keep me covered and to offer means of protection going forwards. So everything is all in place. Now, whenever this sort of thing's mentioned, everybody all of a sudden becomes a doctor and they think they know what they're talking about. I've got a relatively good and decent understanding of how everything works through my coach, through doing a lot of research, reading ebooks, watching videos online, and educating myself in terms of the benefits, the impacts, how certain things work, how certain compounds work. And again, it's not a decision that's been taken lightly. I wanted to be fully transparent because I don't want to go through this and lie to you and show this is what you can get and this is what you can achieve naturally, and you know that everything that I've achieved is with assistance. The other thing that also probably comes to mind when I say that as well is that you're probably thinking, oh well, you've taken the easy route, taking assistance makes it easy, which isn't the case. It's far from it. It means that you've still got to eat a decent amount of food, you've still got to train hard, and if anything, the assistance opens up the pathways to be able to grow and to maximize what it is that you're doing. Because a lot of people think, oh, you know, you take all these weird and wonderful drugs that are dangerous, which yes, they are, and I'm well aware of that, but it doesn't make it easier in terms of being able to grow. What it does is it opens up the pathways in terms of the uptake of protein, which is obviously one thing that is massive when it comes to growing muscle, and that's one thing that the drugs do. So further transparency here, what I've done this morning is obviously I've got up, I showed you my morning fat burner stack, clenbuterol, T4, yohimbine, which goes in as standard, and then I also take an IU of growth hormone first thing in the morning. Last thing in the evening, I then also take one more IU before I go to bed, and that's honestly been a massive game changer in terms of this prep and maximizing the lean mass. The other thing I've done this morning as well is the other parts of my cycle is testosterone enanthate, masteron enanthate, tren ace, which are 3 other compounds which are intramuscular injections, which I take 4 times a week. And then the other things that I take as well, just to offer further transparency, is I then take 50 milligrams of Winstrol, 50 milligrams of Anavar pre-workout, with the addition today of 20 milligrams of Halo and 20 milligrams of Superdrol. And that's purely to get the best out of my training. Now, because I'm on prep, it means that this part of the cycle is more potent than being in the off season. Off season, the compounds are generally a lot lighter and they're generally a lot better for your health. But prep is honestly probably the most unhealthy part of a bodybuilding sort of like process, I guess you could say. Once I eventually finish this competitive season, we then drop into an 8-week health phase where everything gets dropped right the way down to allow my body to basically get back to some kind of normality. And when I say that, it allows everything all to settle, allows my hormones to settle down, allows my body a chance to settle down, it allows for better recovery, faster recovery, and it also gives you a chance to see and, you know, basically give you an indication of where your health's at. So as I say, like, this is either going to land with a lot of people and they might be like, oh, you know what, fair enough for being transparent. People either hate me for it, or I'm going to get messages saying, you know, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. I might get a lot of hate for it. But as I say, I wanted to offer full transparency just so that I'm not lying to you, because I did it, well, I'm doing it more from a moral standpoint more than anything else. So I thought I'd kind of give you that idea, and again, just reiterate the fact that it doesn't make it easier. It means it speeds up recovery and that sort of thing. It helps with muscle growth, muscle retention, and it makes the look a lot better. So again, might come as a bit of a shock, but then I don't want to lie to you guys. I want to make sure that everything's all out there in the open and it comes from a good place. So yeah, I'll stop waffling on, but you know, hopefully you can kind of see where I'm coming from. So pre-workout meal is going in. We've got a chocolate muffin, and then in the bowl we've got 85 grams of cream of rice, 100 grams of blueberries, 2 grams of salt, and then we've got whey paste across the top, which is Perform Sticky Toffee Whey. Then I've got 20 milligrams of Superdrol. Then I'm also going to take 2, which will be 20 milligrams of Halo. Then we've also got Anavar and Winstrol. What I normally also do as well is I add in 600 milligram of L-carnitine, which I do before I go to the gym. That helps with pumps, and it's also a decent fat burner as well, which again is another intramuscular. So I'm going to get this eaten, let it digest for a little bit, jump in the car, head off to the gym, because today is leg day and I'm very fucking excited for it. So just made it to the gym. Pre-workout meal's gone in, went down an absolute treat, and to be honest, it's sitting quite well in my stomach, which is nice.
Really enjoyed the muffin which I had from Costa. I completely forgot that the ones they do in Costa are chocolate filled, so that was a nice surprise. So vascularity is starting to come out a little bit, and I've got quite a decent session ahead of me, which is quads. Going to incorporate some glutes in there as well, which is standard with every session at the moment, but except they'll be placed at the beginning of the session rather than the end of this one. That's more to kind of bring my glutes through, and it is working. So yeah, we've just pulled up Next Level Preston, which is a new gym for us now, moving up here to train, and you know, it's a decent decision because the kit's good, the vibe's good, music's good, it doesn't get stupidly busy, and it just seems to be working really well at the moment. So I won't take you through this session, as I said earlier on, because I've already done a leg session, but I will show you a few bits and pieces and as to, you know, why I'm doing certain things, but I'm not going to cover the full session. So you'll see a few clips drop in a sec, and then when we come out, I'll take you through my post-workout meal, and then I believe once we're finished, we're heading to IKEA. So yeah, let's get this session done and get some more food in me. So I wasn't initially going to add anything extra into this vlog, and I said that I was just going to come in and train and not really bother sort of doing anything, but I've just had preacher curl in the end of my session. I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday when I was doing pull, and arms is very tricky to get right. A lot of people just kind of like throw the weight around, but as you saw through that last clip, everything for me is slow, controlled, getting full stretch, full range of motion, and ultimately actually using my bicep, because if you get this wrong, you can ruin the connective tissue in your elbow, which is one thing that I'd done over the years with bad elbow problems, elbow tendonitis, or golfer's elbow, I guess you could call it. So take a look back through that clip that I've just shown you of my top set on the bicep curl, translate it into your training, and just remember full range of motion, allowing full stretch, and coming all the way up and getting a nice decent squeeze at the top. Translate that in and you watch your arms grow. Oh, yes. That's the gym session done. Overall, I'm very happy with that session. There were some decent progressions across the board, made every set count, and you know, I also didn't take it too stupid because I didn't want to sort of create even more fatigue. Really focused hard on the glutes and the hamstrings, the quad work. So I couldn't be happier, to be honest with you. We've just popped into Starbucks to grab another coffee, medium one this time. Otherwise I'm going to be high as a kite, and I'm not even sure what time it is, to be honest. But yeah, just sat in the car, just about to have my post-workout meal, which I'll show you in a second. Just sat on the leisure park just for a bit, just to kind of breathe for a second, I guess you could say. Did some post-workout shots in the posing room, which I sent across to Ewan, so we'll see what he says to those. But so far everything's all coming together nicely, very happy with the look and that sort of thing. And yeah, it's been sort of quite a good day so far, feel quite productive. It's nice to have the session done early, actually. I mean, what time is it? It's about 20 to 1, so it's not too bad really. Normally we're in the gym until like gone 2 o'clock, and then you've lost half the day. So from here I think we're probably going to IKEA. Going to shoot down to IKEA for an exciting Saturday out. I've got another meal packed with me just in case, which will probably go in around 4-5 o'clock ish. Just kind of give myself plenty of time. I think 5 o'clock would probably be an ideal time really, so then I can kind of push my last meal back a little bit more. Appetite is absolutely through the roof. Like, I can't even explain it. Like, being in Starbucks just now, I wanted everything. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I could have literally bought one of each cake. So I'll show you this meal. It's nothing very exciting. 95 grams of chicken, 270 grams of rice, 40 grams of sauerkraut, 2 grams of salt, 4 rice cakes and honey. So it's going to go down an absolute treat. And to be honest, I don't actually mind this meal, seeing as I've still got sauces and seasonings and that sort of thing in. Over the next couple of weeks or so, they'll come out completely just to aid with digestion. But the other thing I was going to hit on as well is that over the last probably 2 weeks or so, I've really cut down on the amount of like 0 sugar drinks that I've been drinking, mainly to focus on my water intake. And this might shock you when I say it, my average water intake over the last week, maybe 10 days or so, has been about 6 litres. 2 grams of salt with every single meal. Because the reason why I do this, and it's kind of where I slipped up a little bit towards my last show, was that my water intake wasn't particularly great. So I've made sure that I absolutely nail that, because it's all about getting the salt in your system, getting your body used to the salt. It's even helped from the point of view of training, the pumps, the connection, the contraction, that sort of thing is going to help in that sense. Saves on muscle cramping, and obviously salt's another electrolyte. And as you saw, like with my morning routine, before I have any caffeine or anything like that, a hydration drink goes in. So after I'd had my first meal this morning, once we'd taken the dog over to the field, on my way back I had a hydration drink, and that even helps from a training standpoint. It's all about getting the electrolyte balance right first thing in the morning, and then when you're sort of like drinking water, your body kind of uses it a bit more. Don't get me wrong, you end up pissing like an absolute racehorse, but it helps across the board. And that's not really somewhere I want to slip up come peak week, is having to think, shit, like I need to start adding salt into my meals and this sort of thing. It only goes with main meals, so like I don't add it to like my yogurt or anything like that. Pre-workout meal it goes in, post-workout meal it goes in, literally everything apart from the Greek yogurt, because obviously having Greek yogurt and salt and fruit, it's fucking grim, and it's just unnecessary really. So yeah, I'm gonna get this meal eaten, get down to IKEA, and then I'll show you my next meal, and then yeah, head home. So this is my next meal, as I just say. 95 grams chicken, 40 grams sauerkraut, 270 rice, and best brand of honey. Other brands are available, and you obviously know what rice cakes look like. 4 rice cakes, which I'll put the honey onto and eat those separately. So you're probably wondering like why I've got sauerkraut on my meals, and I've found that it's helped from digestion. It adds a bit of additional flavour, adds a little bit of meal volume for next to fuck all calories. Like the calories in this are honestly negligible. Like that in total is probably about not even 8 or 9 calories, I guess, across that. When I go for like sauerkraut, you're always better off getting it from a fridge. You don't want to get it off the shelf in a supermarket, because it's not as good. The stuff that's stored in the fridge, it's better because it's a bit more fermented, and yeah, as I say, it's got digestion benefits as well as adding some more flavour and food volume, which is obviously what I need right now, seeing as my food is quite low. It's quite low for me, but for a normal person it's not, apparently. But yeah, I'm going to get this eaten and get on the road. So just got home, made it out of IKEA alive, which is the main thing. And whilst we were there, it made me realise how like weird people can be. I know it sounds a bit off and a bit of a strange thing to say, but walking around, it's like people just lose all sense of spatial awareness and everyone else around. But that's a different story. We've got what we needed, top up on a few tubs, a few other bits and pieces, snap seal bags, and just general shit really. Yeah, so just got home. I'm just about to have my next meal number 4 I think it is, and it's just before 4 o'clock. So I'm going to sit and eat and get this in, and yeah, got some bits and pieces to do around the house. And I'm not even going to lie, right now I am so hungry, which is the one peril of having a high day. Yes, it's great eating a shit ton more food, but it just drives appetite even higher. And I think that's also stimulated by going to the gym as well, and also having completed quite a decent amount of steps. So my next meal in its entirety is another chicken and rice meal. 95 grams of chicken, 270 grams of rice, 100 grams of pineapple, and then I've also got 10 grams of coconut oil on there as well. And again, as I do with all my meals, and I've said before, that I've got 2 grams of salt on this as well. So this isn't going to last very long, and then yeah, it's only another 3-4 hours to wait until my last meal of the day, which generally we get that meal in and then go out for a walk around the block and take the dog out. So yeah, I'm going to sit and get this done. Got a few bits to sort around the house, kitchen's tidy, a few like admin bits I guess you could say to sort out, and then hopefully get a chance to sit down and watch a film or something tonight. So my last meal that I showed you earlier went down an absolute treat. It is now 8 o'clock and my last meal is going in slightly later than normal, but I honestly don't mind because we're going to bed in a couple of hours anyway, so at least I'm not going to sit around hungry after this. So yeah, my last meal is going in, which I'll show you just now. About 6ish I think it was. Decided to jump in the bath with a load of bath salts and like muscle soak, just to kind of chill out and relax a little bit after sorting out like around the house and trying to get rooms cleared and stuff. Which, you know, was a bit of a chore, but it is what it is, it needed doing. So this next meal, I've got 100 grams of mince, 270 grams of rice, 40 grams of sauerkraut, decent helping of green veg, don't know if I said 2 grams of salt or not, and some coconut oil over the rice. If you've not tried coconut oil on rice before, it's well worth trying. Obviously you can get coconut rice from like takeaways and that sort of thing, but this is honestly amazing, just for some additional fats as it's my last meal. So I'll show you it and then I'll get stuck into it. So that last meal went down an absolute treat. Tried to make it last as long as I could, but it was nice to get a bit more food in, and now I'm ready for bed as the time is now 25 to 10. We're sat watching The House of Guinness on Netflix, which is well worth watching. Well, the bits I've seen anyway. I ended up drifting off a little bit, as that is me now off to bed. So just getting my evening supplements in before I go to bed. I'll take you through what they are. I'll do like a quick sign off and yeah, we'll move on. So these are the last few supplements that I've got here. I've got omega-3, vitamin C, metformin, telmisartan, and also got ashwagandha there, which I think is about 150 milligram of ashwagandha. So that's my general sleep stack, and that generally helps in the evening. The metformin helps with blood sugar levels, even more so like pre-bed, because that's one thing that you kind of need to sort of keep stable when going through prep, is keeping your blood sugar levels as good as possible. The vitamin C has numerous like health benefits in terms of the micronutrition in there as well as it helps kind of like strip water out. Everybody knows what fish oil is. Fish oil obviously helps with like inflammation and that side of things. About 4,000 milligram of that day. And yeah, then I've also got last IU of growth hormone, which I go in when I go upstairs, as I always generally pin that in my bathroom. And yeah, that just kind of rounds off today's vlog. Probably was a little bit boring, but it kind of gives you a bit more of an insight. Full day of eating, a bit of an insight into me, bit of honesty. Hopefully you've carried on watching this far, and you know, you kind of see like the transparency, and now you kind of get the full picture. So that's a full high day. Not sure on the carb intake today, probably well over 500 grams of carbs. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Tomorrow morning the plan of attack is to get up, do my check-in, send it across to you and see what he's saying. No doubt I'll be back to digging from tomorrow, which will be back down to baseline food, and then sort of carry on pushing from there really. But the post-workout visuals I was really happy with today. Things are moving really nicely. Food sat really well today, not feeling bloated or anything like that, no digestive issues. So yeah, it's gone pretty smoothly. And to be honest, I've actually really enjoyed recording this, putting some information across to you guys, completely opening up, full transparency, no holds barred or anything like that. So now you get the full picture of exactly what it is that I'm doing. If you like the video, please drop a like, subscribe to my channel, and share the love. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll catch you in the next one. When it will be dropping at this point, I'm not too sure. May well do sort of like another in-session piece next week, and then that'll probably be it for a bit, and then, you know, we'll sort of carry on from there. And then like in the next few weeks I will be starting my off season. So again, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, drop a comment, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching.